Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
It's like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing, and you go home with a hairy palm.
In boxing, what happens inside the ring is only half the fight. The other half is waged outside, a raw, unfiltered clash of words, egos, and legacies.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive when he saw the crowd. He looked up and he saw those people, and even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single.
Easily the best counter puncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy because his force is just so.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top 3, top 3 greatest.
Recently, OscarDeLaHoya set off a firestorm with a statement that shook the sport. Floyd was built to be the villain.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and a villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain. Mm-hmm. People love to hate him, and guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tune in to watch greatness or tune in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Floyd was built with the opponents we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in any movie, you need the hero and the villain. Floyd was the perfect villain. People love to hate him. And guess what? He made an entire career out of it. And he's one of the greatest. Do fans tune in to watch greatness or to watch him lose? A lot tuned in to see him lose, but plenty tuned in to see greatness. Do casual fans truly realize how great he is? I don't think so. His words didn't just reopen an old rivalry, they pulled 2 of today's most dominant fighters into the spotlight. The spark came from an unlikely source. Terence "Bud" Crawford had just pulled off the unthinkable, dismantling Canelo Alvarez to become the first male fighter ever to be undisputed in 3 separate weight classes.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring them. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It was the defining triumph of Crawford's career, the kind of win that cements a fighter's place among the all-time greats. But after the fight, it was Canelo, the defeated champion, who lit the fuse with one explosive sentence. That was all it took. A long simmering debate erupted across the boxing world, forcing fans, fighters, and pundits alike to take sides. That's when OscarDeLaHoya entered the fray.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch in fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Having shared the ring with Mayweather himself, De La Hoya's perspective carried undeniable weight, and he wielded it like a weapon, dismissing Canelo's claim with ruthless precision. In an interview that spread like wildfire, he flatly rejected the idea that Crawford could ever measure up to Money Mayweather.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, and or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
De La Hoya's case was simple, cutting, and rooted in history. He pointed back to 2013, when a prime Floyd Mayweather schooled a young Canelo in a masterclass performance. "I have to disagree," De La Hoya declared. Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo, literally toyed with him. He didn't get touched. Not once. For De La Hoya, the evidence spoke for itself. "I think Mayweather is far superior to Crawford. Not just because he beat me, but because I truly believe, technically, Mayweather is the better fighter."
Okay. Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
But De La Hoya's praise for Mayweather comes wrapped in a complicated history. To understand it, we rewind to 2007, the mega fight dubbed The World Awaits, when De La Hoya himself faced Mayweather. It was a record-breaking showdown, with De La Hoya, the golden boy of boxing, pushing Mayweather to the limit before dropping a close, controversial split decision. So when De La Hoya calls Mayweather the superior fighter today, it raises a deeper question. Is this pure objectivity or a calculated play? By elevating Mayweather as untouchable, De La Hoya also lifts his own legacy, reminding the world that he nearly beat the man many consider the greatest ever. It's a shrewd way of reinforcing his own greatness while simultaneously undercutting the man who succeeded him as boxing's biggest star. This wasn't just analysis. It was the opening salvo in a much larger war. De La Hoya's attack wasn't only about Mayweather or Crawford. It was aimed directly at Canelo Alvarez's legacy.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki Al-Sheikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw OscarDeLaHoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. OscarDeLaHoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number one in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The tension between Oscar De La Hoya and his former star fighter is one of boxing's worst-kept secrets. And in this moment, De La Hoya finally let years of pent-up resentment spill out.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy.
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge fluff.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford. And they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to win.
To grasp the bitterness, you have to revisit their split. De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions took a young Canelo Alvarez and built him into a global icon. For years, they dominated together. But cracks formed, and the partnership collapsed in a storm of lawsuits and public mudslinging. Canelo believed he was being exploited and fought for independence.
Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también. Pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados, me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo.
You know who your daddy is.
Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguía. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho.
Yeah, I find it quite weird, really. Like, you know, on one hand, Oscar's sort of, his whole mantra right now is how happy he is, and, you know, look at me, guys. And there's obviously this thing with Canelo that just eats him up so much. I mean, the stuff with me eats him up, but this is on another level. And it's like this Clapback Thursday thing, which I think is actually quite amusing. Like, you've got that platform there. Why would you use it to just continuously talk about or try and discredit Canelo Alvarez, who's a fighter that left you 4 years ago? It's over. You know, on one hand, you're this happy-go-lucky guy, and then on the other hand, you've got like this toxicity eating away inside you that's making your blood boil. Just let it go. Like, talk about his fighters, you know, Zurdo Ramirez, Zepeda, Munguia, and Munguia's left him, but like the other guys he looks after as well. So like, I don't know, I find it a bit weird, really.
De La Hoya, however, saw it as pure betrayal. A fighter he poured everything into walking away after reaching the top. So when he calls Canelo's career a fluff, it isn't just promotional trash talk. It's the sting of a man who feels his creation turned on him.
I don't expect anything less than that with that kind of person. He's an because he's mad because I leave Golden Boy. I'm the diamond in Golden Boy. Golden Boy is not the same without me. That's why he's angry. I have the proofs. I have proofs. I put my lawyers in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs. I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
Canelo, I just saw another video where you're still talking shit. All you say is fuck him, fuck that. Oh, he stole from me. Well, obviously, aside from defaming me, why don't you look inside your own circle? Because I know for a fact that people are stealing from you. By the way, you lined my pockets, you made Munguia a shitload of money, all because you're afraid of David Benavidez. Fuck you.
That personal history fuels every word, transforming a normal boxing debate into a grudge match for revenge. On social media, De La Hoya went for the jugular, declaring, "I promoted Canelo's entire career and it was all fluff." Then he twisted the blade even deeper, claiming, the only real fighters he faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and they all toyed with him. For De La Hoya, this was an I told you so moment, using Canelo's defeat as his own personal victory lap.
Terence replied to your tweet. He said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him.
Respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work because there's too many egos in the table. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? My focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fighter.
And just when it seemed the fire was contained to boxing, De La Hoya expanded his attack, setting his sights on another giant, UFC President Dana White. In the same tirade, he tore into White, accusing him of chasing profits while neglecting the health and well-being of his fighters.